OK, let's get to what is set to be a hugely significant couple of days at Manchester United. We'll discuss their plans shortly, but we will start with Jadon Sancho. Dharmesh, just sum up. You've got details on how this saga has developed over the last 2 months or so.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing I heard today. I was told today that Sancho and his representatives made it clear to Borussia Dortmund well before August the 1st that Sancho wanted to take on the challenge of joining Manchester United. Now, Dortmund's response was that they would consider allowing him to leave on 2 conditions. One of those conditions was if United paid £108 million. The second condition, if the bid came in before August the 1st. Now, that deadline later changed and was extended to August the 10th. Now, we know that United eventually did bid this week, but they did not meet either of those conditions that Dortmund had laid out. Look, United's offer of £73 million plus add-ons was rejected. 2 things to clear up here. Now, some have questioned the timing of Sancho's respiratory illness coming in the same week as that bid. Now, I am told that that was simply a coincidence. Secondly, another question that is being asked is why did Sancho not agitate for a move when Manchester United came in with that offer? Simple. The bid was rejected out of hand by Borussia Dortmund. Again, there were 2 reasons for this. First of all, the guaranteed payment that Manchester United were offering fell £35 million short of what Dortmund's valuation was. And that's the main reason why Sancho simply did not agitate for any kind of deal, because there was nothing to agitate for as far as Dortmund were concerned. The second reason, it came over 50 days after Dortmund's deadline for a deal to be agreed. So what next for Sancho? As far as Sancho is concerned, he's focused on playing for Borussia Dortmund. Can this situation change is what we're being asked with 4 days to go. Possibly, but any change will be as a result of what Manchester United do next. Can they match Dortmund's asking price of £108 million? If they do, we're still expecting Borussia Dortmund to reject Manchester United's advances. However, the question that will then need to be asked is, if they do match the bid, what will Jadon Sancho do? Will he then agitate for a move to Dortmund, because he could say to them they've met the asking price, albeit nearly 2 months after Dortmund's deadline? So you just get the impression that something can still happen, because United, I think, still feel possibly that there's a deal to be done with Jadon Sancho. It is going to be very, very difficult to do, but it is effectively in Manchester United's hands, because Dortmund are under no pressure as far as they're concerned. They are waiting to see if Manchester United come in with another offer.
Look, Jadon Sancho is being very careful about how he deals with this whole issue, but we know that he's told Borussia Dortmund that he would like to move to Manchester United. He told them that earlier this summer. His representative has sorted out his fees with Manchester United. His representative has sorted out Jadon Sancho's contract, personal terms, wages. That has all been sorted out. So all that needs to happen is for the fee to be sorted out, and that still hasn't happened. My personal opinion is that United, in the current climate, are making a very, very good offer. From what Dharmesh says, the bid is worth possibly up to £100 million. That is a big, big offer, considering what is happening in the world at the moment. Reading between the lines, I think Jadon Sancho wants to go to Manchester United, but he's not desperate to go to Manchester United, because he knows he can wait, he's young, other big clubs are going to come in for him in the future. Borussia Dortmund want to sell him because it's their business model to sell their young players, but they're not desperate to sell him, because they know that other big clubs are going to come in for him, maybe in January, maybe next summer. And United want to sign him, but I'm not sure how desperate they are. And we'll find out in the next few days if they're really, really desperate. Because from my point of view, £100 million bid is a very, very good offer in the current economic climate. I don't see any other clubs spending that kind of money on players. So I'm just a bit bemused is a word that Darmesh uses a lot. A bit bemused about why Borussia Dortmund are being quite so difficult and dismissive of United's offer.
As you said earlier this week, Darmesh, that initial offer, 80 million, I think it was, euros plus 20. I mean, it's a big offer in the current climate with so much uncertainty. I think it's interesting now to get the view over in Dortmund. Well, their message has been consistent throughout this summer. Gary Cottrell is over there for us tonight. Gary, just bring us up to date on kind of developments today from your end.
Yeah, consistent message from Borussia Dortmund, and still the message from Borussia Dortmund. The valuation that we have of the player hasn't been met, and that deadline that they set hasn't been met, and they're saying the player isn't going to be sold for those reasons. Now, whether or not Jadon Sancho is prepared to start to agitate to try and get Borussia Dortmund to change their tune, well, I went for that very reason down to the training ground today. I was there from 10 o'clock in the morning and through till 3:30 in the afternoon. The players began to arrive at 12 o'clock in dribs and drabs through till 2 o'clock to have their COVID-19 test. Jadon Sancho wasn't among them, and then training began at 3 o'clock, and by 3:15 Jadon Sancho hadn't turned up for training. I spoke to somebody down at the club and they said he wasn't going to turn up because he was still ill with this little cold that he's got, and I thought maybe he is beginning to not cooperate a little bit with the club. But then I'm told that after we left to come here to do these broadcasts, he did indeed turn up at the training ground after the other players had all gone out to train, not to do any training, I understand, but to have that COVID-19 test. So he is, it seems, cooperating with the club at this moment. And of course, that's good news for England and Gareth Southgate that he's had the COVID-19 test, because he needs to have it so that he can join up and join the England bubble at the beginning of next week.